Hello, I, Dr. Vijay Chandra Jayala, welcomes you to today's session on cloud computing. Cloud computing is an ambiguous, convenient, on demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. Example networks, servers, storage applications, and services that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort and service provider interaction. The cloud basic model consists of five essential characters, three service models, and four deployment models. Hello, I, Dr. Vijay Chandra Jedala, welcomes you to today's session on cloud computing practical session. This is the first cloud computing practical session which we are going to discuss. The session is related to the AWS cloud, and in this particular session I am going to use AWS Learners Lab, and I am going to teach how to use AWS Learner Lab, and in it I am going to use EC2 instance. This EC2 instance, we are going to use this EC2 instance to create a Linux environment, and in this particular Linux environment I am going to install a web page. So this is today's agenda related to the first lab of AWS cloud computing as part of introduction to the cloud computing. So right now on screen we are on here we are on screen. You can see that AWS Academy, and in the module session directly I am right now in the module session. You have to enter into the with your credentials to the AWS Academy Learners Lab, and in this particular Learners Lab I am going to select the launch AWS Academy Learners Lab. So please click here, that is launch AWS Academy Learners Lab in the module section. So just I am clicking launch AWS Academy Learners Lab. Once you enter into this particular Learners Lab, then I am going to the classes and my student view. So to make you facilitate how the student view will be in the same way as an educator also, I am entering as a student view, as part of student view. Here this is the screen where you are going to send to the next concept of AWS, that is here the signal is red. There are three signals. One is red, yellow and green. When this signal becomes green, we are ready to use AWS concept. Now the second step is related to the start lab, end lab, and AWS providing for the learners lab around $50. Among that I use 0. So if you carefully uses, you can complete all your assignments as well as lab related concepts, learn lab related concept within the speculated given $50. So as a first step I am clicking on the start lab. Just click on the start lab. It will take little time to enter into this particular environment. So in meanwhile time I will discuss regarding the cloud. As part of cloud computing definition is cloud computing is an ambiguous, convenient, on-demand network access to share a long resources. So different resources will be shared in the cloud computing environment. So now you can see this color is of green. Just click on it. A new window will be opened. Okay. So in this new window, you can see this EC2 concept. So EC2 is the concept here which you have to understand. Elastic Cloud Compute. So by clicking on this particular EC2, you can enter into this EC2 environment. This is the AWS Learners Lab environment. You can use two different ways. One is the using Learners Lab environment, another is the AWS free tier architecture. Right now I am using the AWS EC2 concept. Just I am going to click it on the EC2 concept. So here you can observe here the instances running or 0. Then whatever the EC2, it is a compute, and it will create, we have to create the instances. The instances here is 0, and then comes to the key pair is 1. That means by default we will have one key pair. In this particular lab, we are directly going to use the default key pair, and security group also we are using this default security group. We are not going to create any security groups. So here majorly key pair we are going to use, security group afterwards by itself it will create. So the first step here you have to use learn is the launch instance. So the launch instance is the first step. Then you have to name the name and tags. So I am giving my web, my web 1 2 3 4. So any number with the some word, your name and your ID, last 4 digits of your ID number also you can give. So this is the about the name and tags. So name my web 1 2 3 4. Then come down, and here you can observe the AWS Linux, which is part of our experiment, that is the AWS Linux. If you want, you can create the Mac environment, or you can create the Ubuntu operating system environment, Windows environment, Red Hat Linux, Red Hat environment, or SUSE, any other environments we can create. But right now, as per our requirement, we are going to use this particular AWS Linux environment, which is of unique AWS and Linux environment. Then comes down, then by default I am keeping this all as it is. Then instance type T2 micro is the instance type which here it is showing. So I am keeping T2 micro only. I am not going to change this particular instance type, since it is a free tier eligible. T2 micro is a free tier eligible. If you select any other, there may be a chances of charges. So I am using the T2 micro. Then key pair, by default we will have one key pair which is known as VOC, VOC, VOC key. So by default key pair I am going to use here. After that, the next step is the network setting. So I am not going to do anything here. I am going to allow HTTPS traffic to the internet. So I am going, since we are going based on the IP address, we are going to publish a particular website. So for that purpose I am using this particular thing. Here I am using this one also. Then after this, after clicking these three, then I am going to the next step. Before going to the next step, a quick review will be given. So once I launch the instance, my name, I given the name, that you, whatever name you want you can give in the combination of words, numbers. Then comes to the AWS Linux, that is AWS. Then comes to the next step which I have to use is the key pair login. I am using the default key pair. I am not going to use any key pair here. Then comes to the next step. I am clicking the allow HTTPS traffic. Then allow HTTPS traffic. By that I completed my first part of the thing. There are around 7 steps which we have to follow. That is the launch an instance. To launch an instance, name and tags, application and OS images. We have to identify the image, Amazon machine image. Then comes to the AWS Linux. Then comes to the instance type, that is T2 micro. Then we have to click on these two other options, that is allow HTTP traffic from the internet and allow HTTP traffic from the internet. So we are going to allow the HTTP traffic so that we will connect into the internet based on the IP address which we are going to provide. After this, directly click on the launch. Then this is a screen which you are seeing launching the instance. Then once the launching the instance successful, click on here. So you can observe here, just I am clicking here so that I can select this particular one. Select this. Then you can observe here the IP address, which is the open IP address for the window. This we are going to copy, and finally the output we are going to share by this. Okay, now right now the second step is connect. We should connect this. Before that, let the instance is run. Now it is saying it's pending. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Meanwhile, regarding the cloud computing, which is the most important concepts in the cloud, or different types of clouds, which are among them one of the most important type is the AWS cloud. So here just I am waiting for this to generate. Let me check by refreshing it. Yes, it's running. So it is ready. So just say connect so that you can connect into this particular environment. Step by step I am saying. If you need, you can pause the video and you can learn step by step. Then nothing I am doing. This is a public IP address. Okay. Then click on connect. So now it's establishing the connection. Now we enter into the Linux environment. So here this is the Linux environment. By this 50% of our project is completed. We entered into the AWS Linux environment. Now just I am pressing ls. Okay, no files are right now available. So I am going to use a small code, that is sudo su. So that means it will convert to the root user sudo su. Press enter. First step I given is the sudo su and I entered it. Then the second step which I am going to use is the yum updates -y. m update -y, m update -y, press enter. So m is updated. Then comes to the next step, install HTTP hypertext transfer protocol domain. We are going to install it. M install -y httpd, press enter. So here it's installing all the content which is related to this particular concept. You can see here it's installed. Then the next step which I have to use is the Systemctl status HTTP. So after installation you have to check Systemctl space status space HTTPD. Then press enter. Then it's given the service. Then after this, the next step which we are going to use is we are going to create one directory which is a temporary directory, mkdir temp. We created a temporary directory. Then we are going to save the content into that. That means we are going to use cd temp temp. We are entering into that particular directory. Then the next step comes to the creating the mediplus-zip file. So here it is, this I have to type, that is wget. Then why I am using this zip file I am going to tell you now. See here, this is the template for this particular zip file. You can get it in free CSS website. You can get it, and in it I am selected one free website that is about the medical related concept. So now we are going to add the zip file of the mediplus website from the free-css.com. In free-css.com we had the zip file of total template. So first we are going to download that particular template by using wget https://free-css.com/assets/files/free-css-templates-download- page number 296 depends upon the pages of the template, mediplus-lite.zip. This all I am going to type here. Let us check. So what I am going to type is wget wget http wget https:// then files/free-css-templates TEMPALETS, templates, TEMPLATES, templates slash download DOWN download slash page 296 slash mediplus -lite.zip, then press enter. Then the total zip file will be available here. To identify that, use ls so that you will find the zip file med plus medi-zip.zip. So to retrieve it, so first cd, then unzip medi-lite.zip, unzip medi+-lite.zip. So all the files will be unzipped to the particular folder known as the medi+-lite. Now you can check CS. So two files will be there. One is with the zip file in red color and one is with the folder unzipped with the blue color. Then the next step will be cd medi plus -lite. As we entered into the mediplus-lite, move mv space star space slash var slash, then after var www/html, then press enter. Then comes to the next step, Systemctl enable HTTP. Systemctl space, there won't be any space between system and ctl, space enable enable HTTPD, press enter. Then comes to systemctl status space HTTPD. Systemctl start HTTPD. Now all the commands which are required are in the Linux environment. We type that every step. Once again I will discuss. First command which I used is the sudo su. By that the root it will convert to the root user. Wherever the user it may be, it will go to the root user. Then comes to m update -y. All the files will be updated, and next is we are going to install HTTPD, that means hypertext transfer protocol, that we are going to install by using m install -y HTTPD. Then system status we are going to find, then mkdir temp, then cd temp, then wget the link of the particular zip file of freecss.com. Then we are going to unzip that particular file and we are going to store that unzipped files in the medi+-lite. Then we are going to move them to the var/www/html. Then we are going to enable and we are going to start the things. Now, after completing all these steps, now go to the this particular screen, that is EC2 environment, and now copy this IP address, public IP address, and go to the new web page and paste this particular IP address, that is 18.208.184.198, but for you it may be changed based on this. Now the website is launched successfully. Hope you all understood the concept related what I explained at this particular lab. Practice them. If you have any doubts, keep the doubt in the comment box. And even if you find any difficulty, pause it and slowly, step by step, you do it. Even I am keeping the Git link so that the all the code which is used here is posted in it. Thank you. Thank you one and all for patiently listening to the concept of EC2 concept, installation of Linux environment, and uploading a web page. Thank you. Thank you one and all.